in, see how everything is. Shouts out to his setup, that whole fire. Let's go ahead and lock in, man. I love you guys, baby.
I am no longer locked in! It's been a very, very wild last 2 weeks, but I'm finally back in my room. Legit, have not been in these 4 walls in 2 weeks, and it feels very, very strange. But ladies and gentlemen,
my boy got the prison outfit on. That's crazy.
Locked in. That's right, I did lose. Sorry for the spoiler. If you've not watched the final, I will reveal all the truths, all the behind the scenes.
I need to know. I'm still trying to figure out if the gym stuff is real.
Make the video, how people work,
crazy.
Everything. I thought, you know what? Let's sit down. Let's have a chat, and I'll tell you all about the truths of Locked In. So basically, I asked you guys on my Instagram for like loads of questions that you guys wanted to know. I will be brutally honest. Whatever you want to know, you're going to find out today. We've got a lot of questions to go through.
I'm trying to figure out if he got Tennessee's number too.
Sugar Lips. All right, that's a nice wholesome one, and I can confirm, yes, as soon as I got out, and I believe everyone, like, you know, when you got evicted, you basically met the whole crew and all that. Yes, I did meet Sugar Lips. Yes, she is f***ing hot. But no, actually, she is like genuinely very, like, a very nice woman. Like, it's very, a lot of people think she's like a robot.
I literally thought it was like a fake person. I definitely did not think it was real. I was sitting there the whole time, like, maybe they type it into something and then they have that speak like a computer, you know? But that's crazy. Come to find out, it's actually somebody. I wonder if they'll ever reveal who it is.
But like, you know, it's just a random like Siri voice.
No,
it is an actual human being. She does exist.
That was crazy.
She's a lovely woman. But I, you know,
niggas was calling her Sunny. I don't remember that
about her appearance because I feel like it kind of ruins it. But let me just say, it's not what I thought it would be. I'm acting like she's like an actual robot. She's a woman. All right, she is a woman. Someone asked, what was like, you know, what was the sleeper?
What does he mean? It's not what? What did he mean by that? Because now I'm confused. At first, he said she was fine.
Like what was happening at night, and I didn't think this was going to go in, which it didn't. Basically, genuinely, every night we were causing mayhem, and I guess like at the time we were like, oh my god, this is insane, this is so funny, like this is the peak of comedy. And when you realistically, when you think back, it's like me throwing pillows, it's Fu getting some saucepans and just banging them together so we can't sleep. It's like really, really like 12-year-old humor, but at the time we were like, oh my god, we are unbelievably funny.
Well, you're not.
Sleeping was bad. Well, it's one thing not knowing the time, but when you're trying to sleep, like I could have slept 20 minutes. I could have slept.
I want to know, like, how did it feel actually, like, not knowing the time? Because I feel like that's got to be crazy. Like, what was that probably why they were acting so crazy? Is because sometimes they were like, hey guys, go to sleep, but it was really like 4 p.m. You know what I'm saying? They wake them up at like 1 a.m. like, all right, let's film. They said there's like an hour where they don't have the cameras on and they're just like checking all the mics and stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is right. Basically, so they were genuinely unbelievably strict on the time, like genuinely unbelievably, which I guess I kind of expected, but I'll get onto it later. Basically, the producers came in a lot more than I expected. Again, this will be something I speak about in a little while, but let me focus on the time.
I knew you would finish that chocolate.
We had 2 ways of telling the time, right? So about a week in, like we went a week without knowing the time, genuinely, which is a very, very weird thing. Like not knowing the time for a week really, really messes with your brain. One of the girls, when they were using the oven, noticed it had the time on it. So, you know, we had the time there. We thought, oh my God, we're Albert Einstein, you know, we are unbelievable. The next day, the producer came in and reset the clock.
Hey,
so we had no idea what the time was once again. But then I'm going to reveal a very big secret here. Basically, it was a weird house. Like, the layout was obviously so weird. I don't know, like, who's living in there past us for 2 weeks. I don't know, you know, I wouldn't want to live in there. But basically, there was a wall that was boarded up, but there was a little hole in the wall, and we basically squeezed through the hole, and we were inside the walls. No joke.
Is that the house?
Inside of the walls, and there was a little security system that had the time on it. So, sorry, Foot Asylum, for the last week, we knew exactly the time to the second.
Yo, that's crazy.
Even, like, so
wait, what?
On to the producer point now. The producers were so strict, which, like, fair enough. I get it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta make a dope show, you know?
The producers actually came in more than I expected.
I wonder if they'll ever do something like Big Brother, where they have a website where everything's 24 hours and you could just go in and like control the cameras and like see whatever you want to see. You know what I mean? I feel like that would add a whole nother layer to things. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that like you could do that, and I feel like them too, it might put them like, it might make them do more. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that could be really interesting to watch. Like they're already kind of doing the same thing. I think it would be dope if they added more cool stuff to it. You know what I mean?
It was just the obvious one is lunch break. Like obviously these are human beings, they need lunch break. So basically there was an hour a day where like no cameras are on because all the camera operators, everyone, they were all on lunch. And in that lunchtime we had one person come in and basically just make sure
tell the boys they better get a takeaway.
If I opened my mouth and spoke to someone, he'd be like, no, Danny, shut up, the cameras aren't on, shut up. Do you know what I mean? Like content, you gotta wait for content, which I personally wasn't expecting. I guess you kind of hear that in like Love Island and that though, so it's normal in the industry, I guess.
Oh, I wonder if he's gonna let us know if they like faked anything, or if they like told them to do certain things, or like refilm something. You know what I mean? I've always wondered if that happens. Like if they're like, oh, we didn't catch that, can you guys have this conversation again? Or like, oh, we didn't do, you know what I mean? Or oh, it would have been better if it was like in this room, you guys should go to this room and have that same conversation again or something. I don't know. I definitely would love to know that. You can't disclose something? I think so, yeah.
Is I
like
didn't
an
know
NDA?
how strict the rules were. So, for example, let's say when it's lunch break, the cameras aren't on technically. I mean, you know, they're always recording, whatever, you know, but the cameras aren't technically on. None of it is making it in the video. When I was in prison, right, for like the 17th time, you know, look at me, I've got to rep it, but when I was in prison during lunch, they still, and I'm not joking, they still did not let me out. And I thought, you know, so my first night in prison, I was like, oh, this is funny, you know, good content. They can get me being sad, and then I'll go back to my bedroom. Do you know what I mean? No. They made me sleep on the most uncomfortable thing ever. The pillow was...
I'm not gonna lie, I almost respect them like 10 times more for actually making them like, you know what I'm saying, really live it out the right way. I feel like that's even cooler. Like I'm kind of feeling like, wow, I like that like literally 10 times more. That's dope.
Awful. Like genuinely, I woke up, my neck was killing. Like
okay.
I was a hamster.
Okay.
You know, I was literally a little guinea pig to these lot here. Even when the cameras are off, they were not allowing me out. Genuinely, I went to open the prison door.
Sugar Lips, Danny, you must return to prison immediately.
I'm like, the cameras aren't even on. There was one day where I got like not annoyed, but I got a little bit rattled because I'm like, mate.
We're checking out Danny Aaron's like thoughts on the house after the Locked In series finished. The Foot Asylum series that I was doing on the VOD channel. If you haven't peeped it, you gotta peep it. It's so good, bro.
At the end of the day, it's not that deep. I get it. You know, I got myself in prison. I think it was after I ate the Nando's, which wasn't mine. So fair enough. I'll take it. I will sleep in it. But when the cameras are technically off, surely I'm allowed out. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh,
surely.
No. Because obviously they want to show just your good moments. Like, they are showing the full, true story. Kind of. I'll get to that. I think you could tell by, like, day 10, 11, I'm just kind of done.
Did they edit stuff weird?
I went into this not wanting to put on a character, and I think I'd done that. Like, I just wanted to be myself, and I think you guys can back me up that I was myself. Like by the day 1 and 2, I'm like throwing oranges, I'm buzzing, I'm having this, and then day 10 I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. Do you know what I mean? But I'm happy I was myself. Like I just didn't want to like, oh, okay, right, gotta go, you know, gotta get up and smash it and shout and scream. I couldn't be asked to, you know, just to be completely honest with you, I'm like, I'm drained. I am drained. That's one thing. I
respect that too, bro. I feel like it's almost like wild to think that people can be like that 24/7. So it's dope knowing that he actually did his thing, bro. It's dope. It's dope. Like he definitely wasn't too OD. I feel like at least I thought he was gonna get the same rep that Max Kadar got. You know what I'm saying? Where people like didn't like him because he was just so crazy all the time. But it's dope. I feel like that's one thing about a lot of UK YouTubers. Like they're not always on for the camera. You know what I'm saying? They like to they do act normal every once in a while, which is fire. A lot of the like American people or whatever, they probably would have been going crazy.
Foot Asylum did a good job of not exactly hiding, because you could obviously see it, you could see the emotions are there, but they made it look like everyone was loving life, which
could definitely see the emotions.
It was an experience. I'm
Everybody was
so happy.
wilding.
Genuinely, now I'm out. I'm so happy I did it. But oh my god, and I know it's like first world problems, like, oh Danny, you're crying because you've got a roof over your head, free food, getting paid for it. I get it. It's you know, I'm in a privileged position. I understand. But 2 weeks without seeing your loved ones and just seeing the same people every single day. I know everyone inside and out, which is lovely. It's great. Like, I've made friends for life, but oh my god, they brought in guests was my favorite days. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you could see someone from the real life world and you could interact with them, they were my favorite days.
Smack, I was about to say he was the only one I had to see Ginge, bro.
Was there any arguments that they didn't show? Is a very good question. And yes, there was, kind of. There wasn't any, but between the housemates, I think, I can't lie, we were probably the most happiest, like, friendliest group of people
No,
ever.
facts.
Like,
It seemed
I
like
don't
they all
remember in
vibed
previous
together. They
seasons
had good
people
times,
getting
bro.
along this well,
There
and
was
it
no
genuine,
dissing.
like,
It was
I'm
great.
seeing the boys tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've actually made friends that I can look at for life. So there wasn't actually any arguments between the housemates, but there was an argument between a certain someone and a special guest that happens to be Ginger.
Yep,
I'll be
know.
honest with you, it was bad. Basically, I'm sure you can tell. Like, I'm sure you know. Ginge has spoke about it quite a lot on his stream, which he's entitled to do so. But yeah, it was bad. Like, basically, Ginge came in. Someone didn't know who he was. Thought he was like a producer.
I like how I like how he's not
Even that is,
mentioning
like,
Joyce.
in my opinion, right, what I always say to people on, like, content is you can never tell how people are when they, you know, talk to, like, content creators. You can really tell how someone is when they talk to, like, production or, like, you know, like a cameraman. Like, I can tell who you are once I see you speak to them. And someone thought Angry Ginge was the producer. Things happened. And in the video, right, basically, he was the last to leave the box, and, you know, Ginge came in. There was a little bit of an argument.
What?
At best, a minute argument in the video.
700 people here. It's not all about you, Joyce. Me. Jesus Christ, you're one of them, actually. Just so loud. Yappa, yappa.
Have your moment. Have your 10 minutes.
Lads, I am not lying.
Yappa,
This is
yappa.
not a lie. I don't like, you know, this is 100% truth. That argument went on for at least 10-15 minutes, and, like,
What?
it was getting juicy.
No,
Do you know
but
what I mean?
we
Like,
knew it did, because there's even a clip that got put online that like we didn't get to see in the episode, where they were like sitting next to each other and they were talking. Like, we knew it went on. I was so mad, but I get it. Like, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you don't want people to see you in that light. And I think that one of them said, I think it was actually Ash. It was somebody, that they would take out anything that you didn't want shown. So that probably is what happened. She probably told him, like, hey, I was wilding a little bit. Like, can we not put that out? Because that's a little crazy. Shorty was going stupid.
Genuinely 10-15 minutes of just actual insults. Like, obviously, we know Ginger's character, or not character, but you know what I mean? We know he was doing it. Like, he was brought in to do it. The same reason Max Kadar, like, people weren't happy with Max's cameo, but realistically, he done his job. He was told, come in, you know, stir some stuff up, insult people. That was his job. He's done it well. Do you know what I mean? Same with Ginge. And yeah, it did go a little bit left when people started arguing. But that was, I can genuinely say, that was the only argument that they didn't show. There was no arguments between the housemates. We were all calm. Perhaps a bit boring, because they even made secret challenges to, you know, for Joyce and George to start fake beef, because I think they weren't expecting us to all get along. So that's, you know, I guess that's a silver lining, you know? Okay, a good question here, lads. You notice when I was in prison, security came and made sure I was just, like, so weird, by the way, because...
Bro, I've stopped this recording and started it every time that I've tried to pause. I do not understand how I keep doing that. Joyce said on a podcast that Ginger assaulted her with a crumpet. Kyle, yeah, I saw that, and I was so, like, it was so wild that she used those words, because in nowadays, bro, like, in the way that we are, or in the times that we're in, I feel like you can't say stuff like that. Like, you literally can't say stuff, like, at least you can't word it like that, because then people are gonna start tripping. Everybody thinks it's gonna end up being like more than what it is, and it's like, bro, she was wilding. Like, it's like, obviously they brought bro in to just play, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was obviously a joke. She felt crazy about herself, bro. She felt so crazy about herself, and it was wild that she was telling him like, yo, get your little 10 seconds of fame, especially knowing that he's way bigger than her. Like that was what was even crazy too. Like I've seen so much stuff from Ginger. I don't think I've ever seen Madam Joyce's stuff pop up on my feed before. And I watch a lot of like women's stuff too as well. You know what I'm saying? Women creators. So that's wild. I've literally never heard of her in my life. And that's just crazy, bro. Like I don't understand. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You might be, what do you call it? Be taken to your level, or like, you know what I'm saying? Be like, just, I don't know. She could have felt like she had to go on the defensive, but from what we saw, at least, there was nothing that he said that was just crazy. You know what I mean? Josh Giddey. Who is Josh Giddey, gang?
There was 2 girls in prison. I think it was Ten and Shannon. They both got in prison, and they didn't have security outside their door. But anyway, the question is there security? Yeah, but they weren't trying. They weren't trying to run away. And the answer is yes and no. So there is security outside the house 24/7, and for whatever reason, if we need the security, they can come in. So yeah, technically they are there 24/7, no matter what. But I think the only time I saw one of them was when I was trying to escape the prison.
And just let him take you.
Danny, this is not getting
literally trying to escape.
Danny.
Someone asked the question, was there any access to digital items at all? Like, obviously, we know phones and that are no-go, which, by the way, like, I saw some people on Twitter saying, oh, they've obviously got their phones, they're posting on Instagram and that. They were like, we got people to do that. We literally had no access to anything, genuinely anything. We weren't even allowed. That's
actually mad fire. That's mad fire. I'm wondering if they, what do you call it? Did they just get all their logins, or did they have like friends and then like the producers would send the friends or photos, or like did they hire a guy, or like how did that work? I don't know, because I'd be like, yo, hold on, bro. I'd be sliding in the end, you know what I'm saying? I can't have everybody just having access to my information. You know what I mean? That's a little crazy.
A Polaroid, which I know like might sound stupid, but we really wanted a Polaroid to like take pictures and remember it. We weren't allowed anything. You know what? I've got to answer this question because I'm sure lots of people are wondering it. Let's say this in a nice way. Did I do the thing? How do I say this? Did I work, basically? Did I work in the 2 weeks? And I'm actually...
Who wanted to know this? I don't... What?
Genuinely very happy to say, I'm not joking, I genuinely did not do the thing in 2 weeks. And the reason is, like, I can't lie, I was very, very frustrated. Very, like, you know, day 11 and 12, I was like, they supplied condoms. Like, I'm not even joking. We got sat in the house and we got briefed like, oh, guys, so happy you're here. Here's what's going to happen in the 2 weeks. I'm not joking. Within 5 minutes of us meeting each other, the producer was saying, hey, if you want, there's condoms upstairs. No word of a lie. That came out of his mouth. And I'm like, what have I got myself into? But no, sorry, off topic. I did not. Hey, man to man.
I can respect it. Because the producers are probably like, yeah, we don't want y'all having no babies in here. You know what I mean? Or just being super nasty. But I wonder if them doing that, does that mean that it actually happened in other series? I gotta know. Come on, man. Come on. Now I really want to know, bro. There's no way. But I think everyone besides the females were in relationships, which is so wild because usually the females will be the ones in the relationship and the dudes will be single, you know?
And I'll let you know, I wanted to. At the end of the day, I was like, oh, you know what? Cool. End of the day, go to the bathroom, do my job. Do you know what I mean? But this is so weird. But I was just so tired. Like, I just couldn't be bothered. Like, proper first world problem.
I mean, it's not wild at all if you really think about it, Lynn. Maybe, like, you know what I'm saying? You're in there, you got people you barely met, and everybody's kind of vibing. You're in there all the time. Like, Ash would have got it. I would have been like, Shorty's got to get broken down, okay? Oh, my God.
But at the end of the day, I was just like, nah, I can't do it, and I just went to sleep, to be honest with you.
Would you want your parent? I'm pretty sure they wouldn't show us doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a little crazy. You know what I mean? Think about it. They're not about to show the whole thing. They do its content when we haven't seen it. They told them they had kind of. You're telling me that the reason why we haven't, like, it hasn't been on any episode? Like, you're wildin'. You're wild. Now, what do they have? Saw us like kiss or something like that? That's a little different. It is what it is. Like, nigga, I'm an adult. They gonna see that at some point in their life. Like, it is what it is. You feel me?
So at least I can.
And then you heard how they were talking in there. You know what I'm saying? How they were twerking and doing all that stuff. You want your parents to see that? You know what I mean? Happened in Big Brother, and that was on national TV. So there was a chick getting her back blown out on national TV, or was it like they were under the covers and the covers were moving? That's what was on national TV, because there's no way that shorty was getting her back blown out, dude standing on the edge of the bed, shirt off, smacking the cheeks. Like, come on, bro. You're wilding right now. There's no way that was on. That's literally straight up porn.
I can say that. I went all 2 weeks without doing the deed. I'll take that. And last but not least, boys, we have got how much of the show is scripted. And I actually came into this thinking, like, so basically I was told, like, oh, we might at times, if it gets a bit dead, we might tell you to talk to this person or whatever. But honestly, I can genuinely say not once in them 2 weeks did anybody come in and be like, guys, I want you to speak to you. I want you to say that. Genuinely, at no point in the show did anyone say anything like that.
They were just going off of vibes.
You saw
That's fire.
was completely natural. None of it was like, guys, can you please do this? Can you do that? Everything we done was, you know, apart from the challenges and that, which are not scripted, but you know what I mean? Like, they are instructed, I guess you can say. But chilling, you know, talking, everything. Every conversation, everything outside the challenge area was 100% natural, just all ours, which I think is quite nice, because I came in expecting it to be a little scripted. I don't know how, but yeah, I thought it was going to be a little bit, but literally was not at all.
I can't wait for the reunion, bro.
That was the truth about Locked In. You know what? What number's on my shirt? 273,118. Let's get this many likes on today's video. Make sure you subscribe if you guys are new.
You guys got to go make sure you check out Danny, bro. As soon as they drop the reunion special, we're checking it out. So be here or be square, Thought Pockets. All right. Oh my God.